Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is the place to be if you want to start, run and scale your creative or handmade business on Etsy and beyond. My name is Steph. I'm giving you a big virtual hug. Welcome to the Handmade Bosses family. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Click the little bell icon to be notified every single time I upload a new video. Today, we are going to be talking about how to make sales on Etsy without using social media. Now, I know that every single video it seems like you watch on YouTube or every blog post you read, every single person will say to you, you need to be on social media to get Etsy sales. Well, I beg to differ. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you some ways that you can make sales if you don't want to use social media at all for your Etsy shop. Tip number one is to remain active within your shop. Now that could mean listing something new every single day. It could be updating your SEO on expired listings. It could be using the Etsy updates or the Etsy Explore beta function. It could be changing your photos, descriptions, answering messages, the day-to-day running of your shop, whatever that looks like for you. You need to be remaining active within your shop. So when I say list something new every single day in your shop, I do not mean you have to make something new each day, okay? What I'm saying is that instead create a copy of your listing, use a different keyword focus. So like you could be using a different holiday type or something along those lines, and make a new listing and put it in the draft folder and then list one of those every single day. That shows Etsy that you are being active within your shop. And if you're not using social media to bring you in views, then you have to go a little bit harder with this because you haven't got that social media backup to fall on. I'm interrupting my own video to bring you something that you need to know if you want to implement this stuff in the best way, and that is your conversion rate. So just a very quick lowdown, we have Joanne here who sells $20 necklaces, okay, and she has a conversion rate of 1%, which basically means 1 out of every 100 browsers buy from Joanne, which basically means that is $20 out of every 100 people. Not bad, right? But what if we could increase this to 1.5%, to 5%, or even 10%? That means that is increased to $200 out of every 100 people. We are not changing Joanne's shop. We are not changing what she stocks. We're not changing the amount of people that are brought in from social media, from her email list, or all these kinds of places, okay? We're not even changing our SEO. All we are changing is our conversion rate. And that is what I want to come to you today to say that I have an amazing class for you, which details exactly how to increase your conversion rate, increase that number so that you can get more revenue from your Etsy shop. The link for that is in the description box below. Make sure you get your free seat on this 90-minute masterclass, and I'm going to show you in 90 minutes how to increase your conversion rate in 7 days or less. Back to the video. Tip number 2 is to really hone in on your SEO and get into your search engine optimization groove. So obviously SEO stands for search engine optimization, and all that essentially means is that when you're making a product, you have your product and you have your customer, okay? So you have this thing that you make and you want to bring the right people to it. But how do we do that? How do we close that gap? Well, the best way to do it is through keywords, which, as you guys know, every single search engine on the internet will use some kind of algorithm, and Etsy is no different. And that essentially means that they are marrying up what people are searching for versus the products that you have. And your job as a seller is to make sure that you are getting the right people. You're almost herding them to your listing. So how do we do that? Through SEO and keyword research. So when we are doing a search on Etsy, what is essentially happening is that Etsy is scanning the millions of listings that they have and bringing the right listings to the right person. So what this essentially means is that Etsy is ranking listings based on how likely they are to be clicked on and purchased by the buyer, by the person doing the search. So this is where being really honed in on your SEO works, because if you've got those perfect keyword search terms that your target audience is looking for, you have sales history on that listing, you're very active within your shop and all the other things as well, which I will explain later in this video, then your listing will be shown high on the search results because Etsy is saying, yes, it's very, very likely that this person will buy this listing. So how might people be searching for your items? Like, how might people actually, like, what words and phrases will they be using to find your item? What kind of search will they be doing in the Etsy search bar? How will they be searching for your item? These are all things that you have to know as a shop owner. And I just want to say as well, like, if you are really lost with SEO at the minute, I promise you that once you have a few listings within your shop, you will start to get the hang of it. It is a little bit overwhelming when you first start. I do completely agree with you, but you will be getting into your groove, I promise you. The next thing is to upload daily listings, okay? So as I spoke about it before about keeping active, this is a whole other kettle of fish. So these can be copies, they can be new products, whatever it is. You know, you could even be starting to list your color variations that you have in other listings as separate listings within your shop, using different images, using different SEO. What I want you to imagine is every time you list something new, you get a little bump in the search. Now, imagine having that every single day. Imagine every single day that you have that little bump within the Etsy search algorithm. Sounds good, right? So that is why uploading daily is a really amazing thing to do, because it does just give you that little daily bump. Tip number 4 is to use Etsy ads or off-site ads. Now, something that I say a lot is if you want to start running ads, you need to make sure that first you are getting sales organically, because essentially if you're not, you're just bringing more views into a shop that's not converting well. You might as well flush your money down the toilet. However, if you are getting conversions, then try doing $1 a day per best-selling item, so per item within your shop, and only advertise a small amount of items. If you're doing a lot, that is where a lot of people go wrong, because your budget is then like quite small, split across like potentially 50, 60, 100, 200 listings, okay? So Etsy ads and offsite ads is a great way for you to spend money to bring more people into your shop. And you want to make sure as well that your SEO, your search engine optimization, your keywords are absolutely nailed down before you do this, because your ranking will be based on the keywords that you're using in your listings, okay? So, you know, basically what you're doing is that you're paying to be shown higher up in the search results, but if you're not using, you know, really good keywords in your listings, then it's not really much point doing this, which is why it's just better to have organic sales before you do this. Now, I will say that from Etsy ads, you should be expecting at least a 2.5x return on investment. So double and then some. That's kind of the general return on investment that we should expect to be seeing. Obviously, I would like to be seeing more like a 3 or 4x return on investment, but essentially that's kind of the general guideline. Tip number 5 is to create an eye-catching brand around your shop. Are you attracting the right people in? And if not, how can you get those people into your shop? Because essentially there are various touch points. There are various things that people will see your shop when they're viewing whatever items they're trying to search for online. And if they click on your shop, they're going to see things like your shop banner, they're going to see your listing photos. So how can you make sure that they are eye-catching enough to get those clicks and to bring people into your shop? Is your brand strong enough and eye-catching enough to bring those people into you? When you think about it, when someone does an Etsy search, literally they are faced with hundreds of search results on their little tiny screen if they're doing it on their phone, or their big screen if they're doing it on their iPad or their desktop. But still, there are a lot of listings that come back whenever you are doing a search. So you need to make sure that your photos are really good. They aren't blurry, they're in natural light, they're in focused, and they're really kind of getting your brand across as much as you can. And tip number 6 is to use Etsy updates or Etsy Explore. Like I said, this is still in the beta function, depending on when you're listening to this. But as of recording this, it's not quite live yet. It's basically like social media, but it's inside of Etsy. So I don't really count it as like the toxic social media that you will see and stuff like that. I don't really count it as that, but it is still like Etsy's very own social media network. So stay active on that, keep those updates coming in, and people that have favorited your shop will be seeing these updates. So guys, I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give it a big thumbs up if you did. Leave me a comment below. Which tip did you like the best, and what did you sell within your Etsy shop? Love you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, everybody.